Right, so let's talk about power. The power that we women have, carry, and always have had. So, a few years back, I think in 2015, a relative of mine once put up a post that went like so. It said, all men are like parking spaces. All the good ones are gone. The only ones left are disabled. Now, most of you who know me know that my partner is disabled. He was born with muscular dystrophy, and it affects the way he walks, and it affects his muscles and the amount of protein that he's got in that he can utilize in his body to make muscles. So my partner is disabled, and a relative of mine put up that post. Men are like parking spaces. All the good ones are gone, and the only ones left are disabled. Now, let's just talk about how that statement absolutely diminished the fact that my partner is a human being and that disabled people exist. When somebody goes out of their way to be picking on disabled people online, not just online, in life anywhere, when people go out of their way to be picking on people because of their disability, because of the way they look, because of their choices in life, because of how they speak or how they walk or the car they drive or whatever, it is a clear reflection of how little they feel inside about themselves. It is never a reflection on how undervalued the person they are talking about is in life or in society. Right? I'm coming in here to tell you this, to empower you to know that when people come to you and say things that are absolutely degrading to you, hurtful, and put you down, it is not a reflection on who you are as a human being or what you deserve or the right that people have got to say who you should be or what you should be or how you should look or how you should feel. It is a reflection of who they are. It is a reflection of a lack of love, a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding, a lack of civility, and a lack of humanity. That is all that is. And I'm only coming in here to tell you about this because obviously I've forgiven my cousin. I forgave my cousin a long time ago, you know, because if you're not educated enough to understand what disability is, if you're not educated enough to make the effort to speak to somebody and understand what things how they come about in life, then you're not worth the time or the effort to be wondering about why you speak about people in a degrading way. And people do it every single day online, on social media, when they're out and about, going about their work, going about their just socializing out in bars. We all look at each other and we all put each other down. But we as women, we do it even more than a whole lot of people in the world do. We do it a lot. We are constantly putting each other down, tearing each other's hair out, judging each other on the type of man that you are in a relationship with. It is absolutely degrading to think that the only thing that could make one another person feel better is by comparing what they have to what other people have. Your self-worth is not decided by how or what other people have and how other people behave around you. It is decided by what you think about yourself. Only that. We women are so powerful, but the one thing that makes us the weaker sex is we're constantly pulling each other down. We're constantly dragging each other down, constantly judging each other, and constantly never there for each other. Always. Always, always. So when my cousin put up a status and she said what she did, at that time I didn't know what I know now, and I was really angry. And I used to be so proud of how angry I could get. I used to be so proud of how much I could keep a grudge and never forgive someone. And once I've written them out of my book, that's it, they're gone. That's forever. And I've actually realized that the more you hold on to that anger, the more you hold on to that hatred, the more you hold on to that grudge, and the more you hold on and never forgive, the more cloudy thoughts you've got in your head going on, the more it fires up your anxiety, your frustration, your negativity towards life is even higher, and the chances of you looking outside of the box that we all carry, that is the limiting beliefs that we all carry, that are created in our lives ever since we were little kids, the harder it will be to see outside of that box. So women, we should always stand side by side and help each other. We should always stand side by side and pull each other up and empower each other to be better people, to do better, to enjoy life, and to be more powerful and to be more in charge of the lives that we lead. It's not the type of man you've got in your life that validates whether you are an upstanding member of society or not. And I've spoken about this before. It is not the type of man you've got. You might have a disabled partner like me. You might have a partner who stands on two legs. You might have a partner with no arms. You might have a partner who speaks 10 languages, or a partner who doesn't speak at all. It is never about the person that you are with that validates who you are in society or in life. It is only about what's going on in here. It is only about who you are. That is all there is. And when you know who you are empowered enough to rise up from all of the sand and the dust and become as beautiful as you should be, and be seen as well as you should be, and be loved as well as you should be, because you are just you. You don't have any regrets. You don't need anybody to validate who you are. You don't need anybody else to tell you what's good about you or what's bad about you for you to feel good about every single day. This is why it is so important to always be happy from inside, because it empowers you to become a strong person, and to always, always make sure that you put your goals first and never any other people's opinions. People's opinions are their opinions. They're like wind. They come and go every single day, and they change. They change every single time. Not one thing that anybody is ever going to say about you will ever make you a better person or a more acceptable human being. It is about the way you behave. It's about the way you think. It's about the way you feel. It's about who you are. Now, a lot of us go throughout life not knowing who we really are, because we've all been modeled by society to be a certain person and to be a certain type of upstanding person in society, an acceptable thing that we should be in society. So a lot of us are struggling with depression. A lot of us are in jobs that we don't like. A lot of us are in relationships with people we don't like. A lot of us have got kids because society said we should have kids when we didn't want to have kids. I know of a woman who's got kids who didn't want to have kids. A lot of us are spending money on things that we don't really want to spend money on, but it makes us feel better when people look at what we've got and they say, oh, she's wearing that type of shoe, or she's driving that type of car, or she's putting that type of makeup on, and blah, blah, blah. None of that validates who you are. Who you are is from in here. And once you know who you are, you're empowered enough to become as beautiful and as amazing as you should be in life. Because that is all you are supposed to be. You were put on this earth to live, to be, and to just enjoy life. Literally. We weren't put on this earth to struggle. We weren't put on this earth to be tearing hairs out of each other. Women are powerful. We are powerful. Once we realize just how to stop tearing each other apart and to stop dividing each other, judging each other, comparing each other, constantly putting each other down, once we realize that we can just stand on our 2 feet without needing acceptance from our parents, from our cousins, from our fathers, from our forefathers, our grandparents, from our partners, from anybody, from our friends, from our sisters. You don't need any validation from anybody. You have a purpose in life. You have a passion that drives you. That is all you should live for. Now, I know I do go off in a tangent a lot when I start talking, but I want you to understand that when people come into your personal space, especially on social media, because it happens a lot every single day. People come into your personal space, start judging you, start comparing you, start giving you their opinions, start telling you how you should behave, how you should look, and how you should do things. Ignore it. If you don't believe it, if you don't understand it, if you don't want to ignore it, it is nothing to do with you. It is all to do with how they see themselves when they look in the mirror. When this is what happens, people who are small within themselves will try and put everybody else around them down so that everybody can be as small and feel as small as they do. Narcissistic people exist. Sometimes people have got narcissism. We all have a little bit of narcissism within us because we were cavemen before we were these kind of people that we think we're civilized now. But narcissism exists in all of us. Sometimes people do narcissism without realizing that they're being narcissistic, little idiots, right? And sometimes people are narcissistic because it makes them feel better. And sometimes people are narcissistic because they know that the way that they're behaving is going to make somebody else feel small, and it's going to make them control that person until that person needs validation, and their opinion only drives that person's movements and that person's desires and behaviors in life. But you don't have to put up with narcissistic people. You don't have to put up with the world's narcissism. You don't have to put up with people's evil and nastiness online when they come into your personal space and try and tell you that you are this good or you are this bad. Well, now, when my own relative put their status up once and said what they did about my partner, this was during the time when me and him were not feeling very well together. And I haven't seen this relative for years and years and years. I think it's been like 7 or 8 years we haven't seen each other. And she heard that I was in a serious relationship with my partner who is disabled, and she decided to put the status she put up online. I was an angry person for a very long time, and I was so happy about my anger because it made sure that people didn't come into my space and talk down at me. And I was so proud of keeping a grudge. But thankfully, I have learned to grow up from that. And once I grew up from that, once I learned to forgive, everything that I wanted, everything that I dreamed about myself, I stopped dreaming with my eyes open. I started actually opening my eyes and started living my life the way that I wanted to. Now you have a desire in life. You have things that you want in life that get disturbed every single day, put you in panic situations, put you in frustration, put you in stress, put you in anger, put you in depression, caused by other people and other people's behaviors. You do. But the minute that you learn to deal with those things that other people bring to your personal space, the minute you start to realize your power as a woman, the minute you start to rise up and you start to be as an amazing person that you should be. Now, tomorrow I'm going to come in here and I'm going to talk to you about how to be in charge of your thoughts. I'm going to talk to you about how to handle stress and panic attack. And I'm going to tell you a story that happened yesterday. When we met a dog and we were out and about. But I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna make it a really lovely and actionable live that you can take some notes and some points out of, and you can use in your everyday, and you can actually start seeing results and actually start using that in terms of being in charge of your thoughts and emotion, and not letting overwhelm take control of you and take charge of you and put you down every single day. So I just wanted to come in here to tell you that you are amazing. If you're a man or a woman and you're watching this, I know I speak to women a lot. That's because that's my ideal client. But if you're a man or a woman and you have got people who come into your personal space and put you down, do not let other people's thoughts, do not let other people's opinions, do not let other people's ideas and their small-mindedness control or take charge of where your life should go. Every single day you should live it according to your design, only to your design, never to anybody else's, because you are perfect just as you are. You are beautiful just as you are. The you inside is amazing just as you are. Anyway, I know Nick has been watching this. He said hi. Hi, Nick. Thanks for saying hi. That's Nick. That's my partner. So yeah, tomorrow I'll come and I'll tell you a little bit more, and I'm gonna put some points down so that you guys can use some really actionable information, stuff that I use with my own clients for how to be in charge of your thoughts and emotions, stop overwhelming, stop stress, and stop anxiety and all of that stuff, because it is absolutely possible. You just have to believe that it is possible. I did it. Nick is doing it every single day. I mean, we still have our ups and downs, but it's knowing how not to let things take charge of your life and control you every single day. That's what's important. Anyway, have a lovely evening. Good night.